Mike Pendleton here today talking about the Tua Tagovailoa unfortunate injury and just the aftermath in which will follow Tua, the Dolphins, and the NFL world. The first thing I see all day, and understandably, these network shows, these radio shows, everybody needs content. I need content, right? The first question on everyone's mind is, when is Tua going to return? Is he going to return? What does it mean for the Dolphins? And I look at Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel, who had one of the best quotes I've heard from a coach player standpoint in a very long time. Um, Mike McDaniel, speaking to the media today, told Tua, quote, he's the starting quarterback of his family. Go in the locker room, take a deep breath, and I'll see you soon. As often as people like myself doing this podcast, making this content, gamblers, fantasy football players, if you're a video gamer, Madden players, as much as we use players like Tua and so many others throughout the NFL as pawns for our entertainment, they are also human beings. And that is something that, if you've been following my channel, especially in the combat sports space, you know that I try to interview on a different level. I want people to know who Tua is, the person, who Tyreek Hill is as a person. It is not until we get unfortunate situations like Tyreek Hill being detained by police or Tua suffering another concussion. I believe it's the third in the last 3 seasons, 4 in the past 5. These are serious matters in which this has to happen for these athletes to get humanized. And it's sad and it's depressing. And to a point, it's disgusting. Now, I'm not going to berate anyone for their opinions on the future of Tua as a NFL quarterback. I don't like that Raiders head coach, Antonio Pierce, who was a linebacker for the New York Giants and, played a long career in the NFL. He came out and said he would advise Tua to prioritize his long-term health and he should retire. Listen, we're not even 24 hours from the injury happening, and we've got coaches across the league saying, oh, this man should retire. I think where we are in 2024, given what we know about brain damage, player health, doctors, former lawsuits against the NFL, all of that coming together, I think we're at a point where we have to acknowledge that doctors should, and more than likely would, err on the side of caution when advising Tua on his next steps, whether it be come back in a month, come back next year, don't come back at all. Doctors can't put themselves in harm's way, legally speaking, with the NFL anymore. Now, the other side of this is not you, not me, nobody watching this, except maybe Tua's family himself, and I doubt they'll watch this, can tell Tua what to do. I urge everyone to go on the Good Morning Football Twitter page. They shared an amazing conversation with Manti Te'o, who is family with Tua, and leave your Manti thoughts out of this. Manti spoke about Tua the person, and I want to credit Manti Te'o, because if there's anyone who knows that football is more than a game and you're not defined by the jersey you wear or the stats that you accumulate, Tua will be a person long after his football career. And the obvious goal is to make sure he lives a long life. That's obvious. No, I don't think continuing on and getting hit in the head is going to help that. But Tua has to make this decision. Doctors can advise him, but I'm not sure they'll force him. And I also don't know that Tua wants to walk away from the game. We don't know what we don't know, right? It comes down to that. So Tua may want to stay in the game because he's a competitor, because he's a winner, because he just got paid and he wants to take Miami to the promised land. But I could say this, I promise you, There are real humans as football fans who just want to see Tua live a happy, prosperous life long after football. I don't care about my fantasy football team if Tua's on it right now. I don't care about my parlays, my money lines, my futures bets on Tua or the Dolphins. I care about the long-term health of Tua, and so should all of you. This is a man who's a father of two, and sometimes it's bigger than football. You know, we do this thing too often on social media where we have to berate someone because they got a pick wrong, or we have to go after an athlete because they dropped the pass and it costs us money, or it costs us a fantasy matchup. Who gives a shit? Pardon my language, but who gives a shit? Because at the end of the day, unless you're fully somehow monetarily invested into your favorite team or favorite athlete, and I don't mean, oh, I got $100 fantasy football league. That's one player. And if your whole season is riding on Tua, you should have drafted better. And if you lost your parlays on Thursday Night Football, shit happens. I mean, that's just how it goes. That's just the nature of the beast. It's called gambling. It's not called winning. So to disrespect the long-term human health of Tua Tagovailoa is disgusting. Stop with this overproduction of content that says, oh, when is Tua coming back? What does it mean for Skylar Thompson, the backup, and Mike McDaniel, the head coach? And is it going to hurt the Dolphins long term? He's one of their best players. When he's out, yeah, it's going to hurt. We're not focusing on the seriousness of the injury, you know, but also we're also not doctors. There's not a bunch of medical professionals on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and sitting in their living room going, I got the answers for Tua. Stop. So the answer, or the question, I should say, that I'm proposing on the title of this YouTube channel, or on this YouTube video, the question I'm proposing to all of you: should Tua play again? But it's not the question. That's not the question. The question I flip to all of you: when do we stop looking at these players? When do we stop looking at these players as pawns for our entertainment, for extra money in our bank account, and a little added ego for bragging rights, just so we can walk around based off their success? You know, to compare it, it'd be like going to a 4-star, 5-star restaurant and making the chef's work your dinner. Be like, oh man, I'm the smartest food critic there is. I came to this restaurant, baby. Woo! I'm holding all my dates here, all my dinner nights here. You didn't do anything. You didn't do a single damn thing to make that restaurant quality to you. It's the people who are putting in the work. So let that relate to sports. You're not doing a damn thing to benefit the career of Tua. You're not doing a damn thing to influence the career of Tua. So before you sit down and say, well, I think, no one gives a damn what you think. It's not about should Tua play again. It's about when are we going to start humanizing athletes and making it known that we give a shit about them as people and not just as a stat line. I'm Mike Pendleton. Follow me on social media, TikTok and Instagram at MikeP2310. Twitter, also known as X, and P2310. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more. And if you absolutely don't agree with me, or if you do agree with me, take the time out, please. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. You know, and I'll even say, if you think, oh, I've got the right answer, I know how long Tua should be out, leave it in the comments. Or do you agree with me that maybe sometimes the severity of an injury means more? We all cared about Damar Hamlin. How come no one's talking about his stats anymore? Well, he's a defensive back. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's talk about Damar Hamlin and Tua in the same conversation, because they're humans who got severely injured while playing. They don't care about your parlays. They don't care about your fantasy teams. They don't care about your entertainment. They're there for your entertainment, but they're also there for their success. Think about that next time you're running to your computers or your phones to type out your thoughts on a professional athlete's serious injury.